Hi, I'm Cidnee Stephen, and welcome to our online seminar, The 7 Steps of Marketing Success. For the next little while here, I'm going to take you through what I think are some pretty effective ways that you can increase your marketing. So if you want to pause me for a minute and go grab that glass of water, maybe that cup of tea or coffee, feel free to do so. Make sure you grab a piece of paper and a pen as well, because I'm sure you're going to want to take some notes, and we'll get started right away. So let's get started. Step number 1, strategy before tactics. You know, probably the biggest mistake most people make is they get running out there wondering if they should be doing something on Facebook. What is it that they should be posting? What should they be putting into an ad? They're so focused on what I call the vehicle, which is the ad itself, the posting on Facebook, that they aren't really spending any time about what it is they're actually saying in their message. You know, strategy is really about what is it that makes you different in the marketplace? What is it that people really need to know about your business if they're going to be buying from you? Now, in order for you to really figure out your strategy, there's 2 really key components. The first one is really to understand your ideal client. I have some news for you. Your ideal client is not everybody. Your ideal client is actually that one that is the most profitable client, the one that refers you the most, the one that you enjoy working with. There's a difference between that client and the one that can be super painful and take up all your time and usually is always trying to negotiate the price. So I want you to have a look at those people that buy from you. Who are the ones that are most profitable? What do they have in common? And then I want you to talk to them. I want you to ask them, why did they choose you? What was going on in their life at that point that they needed your product and service? And if they were to talk to other people about you, what would they say about your business? That's what you want to know from these people. From them, you will get to know what makes you different in the marketplace. Now, I have some news for you. If you are not different in the marketplace, you're probably not going to survive as a small business owner. You need to have something that is truly different. Things like great customer service don't make you different. That's an expectation that we all expect from any business out there. In fact, I don't know any business that says, I am bad at customer service and proud of it, so buy from us. So that's not really a difference. So you need to find out what really makes you different. When you can figure out what that is, and again, your clients will tell you and help you figure out what that is, and you start to communicate that in your marketing, a couple of things will happen. Number 1, you're going to attract more of those profitable clients. Number 2, they're not going to be trying to reduce your pricing down. They will pay a good, fair price for your products and services, and you won't go out of business. So step number 1, strategy before tactics. Let's have a look at step number 2. Build your marketing hourglass. Now you might be saying, what is a marketing hourglass? Well, here's the thing. Everybody actually has a buying pattern. That's right. Every time you buy a product or service, there's actually a pattern that you go through, whether you realize it or not. First thing that you have to think about is, how do I know who to buy from? And that's what we focus on a lot in our marketing. In fact, we focus all our time on how people can know about us. That's the advertising and the promotion. And I'm going to share exactly what you can do to get more people to know you when we get a little further along in the presentation. But here's the thing. If you spend all your time and money getting people to know you and entering your hourglass, but then you don't do anything to engage them in that process, you're actually not going to end up with anywhere near as many sales as you probably could. So what's the next step? Well, next step is I actually need to like your company. I need to like the way you present yourself. I need to like the products possibly in the way that they feel, touch, smell. If it's a service, I really need to feel that I can like and then get into trust you. So first of all, with like, this happens online on your website very, very quickly. In fact, it happens in about less than 3 seconds, and it's mostly on your homepage. So you better have one killer headline on that homepage to grab my attention and let me know that I'm in the right place. And then you better make sure it looks good, professional, it's got the right coloring, it's great in consistency, so that I feel that I'm in the right place. Even if I phone you, What's your message like? Am I going to like the way you answer the phone? And how about when I meet you? Will I like the way that you're presented? Will I like what I hear? Will I like what I see? Will I like the way that I feel? It's stuff that happens very quickly, and so we tend to forget about it, but you got to make sure that you pay attention to those pieces. You know, there's things that you can do to actually build that like too. Things like having something like a newsletter, allowing people to read free information, or giving them something when they touch base with you, something of value, so they go, wow, that was really nice of you. So there's tools that we can use and implement at that stage that allows us to actually get more clients out there. And then there's trust. You know, trust is also extremely important. I might like you, but if I don't trust that your product or service is going to deliver, I'm still not going to buy from you. And you might find that everybody likes you, but nobody seems to be buying from you. If you're missing trust, then there's a few things that you can add at this point. What have you got in terms of results that you can share with me? And you can do that through case studies or testimonials. What about statistics to show me how important your product or service is to me? Things like product specifications, if you're working in those product areas as well. So really think about what it is you can do. How about a guarantee? Can you guarantee me satisfaction? All of these things that help to reduce the risk helps to increase the trust and allows me to move to the center of the hourglass, which is here and where we start to buy. Now there's a lot of things you can do at the buy level. For instance, have you ever thought about creating a trial product, a lower cost product that I can definitely show you some form of commitment to get involved with you, and then possibly buy a larger product or service from you? Maybe some of you have really low cost products or services, and if you do, maybe you need to look at the other way. Is there a more expensive product or service that I could add to it that could really increase what I call your average transaction level? So there's some things that you can definitely do at this level that can make this so much better for you. So we want to try and buy. And then we want to continue on, and I'm going to share a little later on what I call that lead conversion system, and that is what happens when they come into the buying process that you do to really make that a positive experience for me, to educate me so that I will upsell, cross-sell more products and services, and I will possibly be so impressed with your company that I will refer you to other people. And that takes us to the bottom of the hourglass. It's funny how many people stop marketing once the sale has actually been done, and yet these are the people that actually can buy more from you. So it's actually the most cost-effective marketing that you can actually do. So you need to make sure that you have tools to put in this marketing hourglass. I'm going to share some more with you as we go through the rest of this presentation. Let's have a look at step number 3. Publishing educational content. You know, this is becoming even more important with the internet. I don't know if you realize it, but they say now that close to 90%, and probably in the next little while it could be over 90% of people, are starting to buy their products and services online. They're actually going online to do a lot of research to determine what they want out of a product. Think about it. Maybe the last time that you bought a car, you would have gone online to look at performance, safety standards, different models and new technologies. And you're going to find all that research information through educational content. So are you providing the educational content out there that not only will help me know that you exist, but helps with the like and the trust? So there's different types of educational content that you want to produce, and this is really important when you start thinking about things like Facebook and Twitter. So I want to share success stories about my business because that one helps to build trust. I might ask you questions, which helps to build like or engagement, as we call it. And I might share information that helps to educate you as well. So there's different types of content that you need to be publishing. And I can hear you through the camera right now saying to me, but Cidnee, I hate writing. You can't ignore this area. It's too important. So if you're not a writer, maybe you need to get somebody who can help or to ghostwrite for you. Or if you're more verbal, maybe you can say it and then just use a transcription service, is what we call it, to turn those into words for you. But you cannot avoid this very important step. This is what's going to help also with the next area. Developing your total web presence. You see, back a few years ago, us having a website was all that we needed. And nowadays, we need to make sure that that's simply where people come to make that final choice. That's where they learn about our product, and that's where they make the decision on how they're going to take that next step. But around this are all these other sites that can drive that massive traffic to our site. Probably one of the biggest terms that you're probably familiar with is SEO, search engine optimization. Layman's term, that means being found on the first page of Google. Again, in order for you to be found on the first page of Google, you want to make sure that you're producing lots of content and getting it out there because Google ranks that. You want to make sure you're using the keywords that people are searching for your product or service. So you want to be doing what we call keywords research, and you want to be consistent with both of those so that you can continue to move up those rankings and get onto that first page of Google. But in the meantime, there's all these other great sites. You should be blogging. Blogging helps again with search engine optimization, and it helps with that research point of view. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, great ways to connect and build a network, all from the comforts of your office. You don't necessarily have to go downtown, park, spend $25, have another rubber chicken meal for lunch, and maybe not meet anybody. You can go online now and you can do some of these things there. I'm not saying don't network offline. I'm saying there's a great way for you to add that component online as well. There's sites like Yelp, Urban Spoon, TripAdvisor. They're called review sites where you should be making sure you have a presence, and it's an opportunity for your customers to tell others how great you are. It's how I know where you are located. There's Google Local Maps where I can see where you're located if I happen to be searching for your product or service as well. So there's all of these fantastic places that I can be putting content online. You know, even YouTube, where you can do videos like this one here. Did you know that YouTube is actually the second largest search engine out there now after Google? In other words, people are going there to look for how-tos, how to do things. So it's a great place for you to have a presence online. There's also places like Flickster, where you can actually put your photos online. So if something is very visual or you are a photographer, it's a great place for you to actually get some extra mileage and extra traffic and extra exposure out there. SlideShare, a place where you can put PowerPoint presentations. So make sure that you're looking for some of these places out there and really owning your real estate online. And when I say owning your real estate, I mean your company name. You want to make sure you own it on places like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn so somebody else doesn't take it from you. So claim your real estate, get active, it will pay off. You don't have to do it all tomorrow. You can take your time, and I'm going to come back to that point too. All right, let's have a look at step number 5. This is probably the step that most of us tend to start with, and that is developing our lead generation. So this is the know of our hourglass. And there's actually 3 different areas that we want to focus on with lead generation. In fact, I don't know if you realize this, but there's actually only 3 ways that people can know you exist, and they are advertising, PR, and referrals. Think about it. If you want to find out where a dentist is, you might ask a friend, or you might go online and you might Google it. Well, hopefully you'll come up on search engine optimization, but if not, you can actually advertise on Google. You can advertise on Facebook. You can advertise via discounts like Groupon and Living Socials. You can advertise on newsletters. You can advertise in so many places online, and you get to choose the budget. So much less expensive than a lot of that offline print advertising. However, if you've got larger budgets, obviously you've got offline marketing opportunities as well. And you know what? This is where I like to throw in those promotional things that you can do as well, like networking, direct mail. So those things that really help you target possibly a specific target audience that you're going after. The best thing about advertising, the reason we want it as part of our lead generation trio, is because we control it. If I need to up my sales tomorrow, I can go and do more advertising, do more networking, do more direct mail, and have an impact. And if I'm putting great content in there from my strategy and from talking to my customers and from really pointing out what makes me different, I'm going to have results. And if I measure that, I can make that result better and better each time. So I can control advertising. Referrals, we can't control so much referrals. We can't guarantee someone's going to refer us tomorrow. But the reason we want that as part of our lead generation trio is it's credible. You know, when I advertise and say I'm great, it's not really a big deal. But when somebody else says I'm great, you probably hold it with a lot more credibility. Do you know the other great thing about referrals and PR is they don't cost us a lot of money. So there's something that we can do in our marketing that isn't totally expensive. So I love referrals and I love PR. When we talk about referrals, though, we're not just talking about our clients. We're also talking about strategic partners. So what are you doing to really promote referrals with your clients and with strategic partners? For a start, I hope that you are doing such a great job with your products and services that some of those referrals are coming naturally. But secondly, set it as an expectation. When somebody comes in and buys from you, I hope you say something along the lines of, hey, I'd like to know how your experience went with us today because we want it to be so good that you'll be happy to refer us. So set that expectations with those customers. Get used to asking in a way for those referrals. There's lots of tools I could get into on referral marketing. Strategic partners, obviously making sure that you identify those partners that have the same ideal market as you. You want to make sure that you get to know those individuals and that you work with them, possibly by forming your own little partner network, by doing what I call a win-win-win event where you get 3 of you together and you put an event and you each bring your networks in and expose each other to your networks, and of course you're being exposed to their networks as well. There's a lot you can do around referral marketing, and boy, is there some really cool online tools for referral marketing now too. All right, the third one, PR. PR, the whole world of PR has changed dramatically. In the olden days, you used to send a press release out, believe it or not, even by fax. And that was really the way that you might get exposure with the media. Not anymore. Press releases work best actually when you put them online on sites like PR Web and you optimize them again with your keywords so they can help with your search engine optimization and actually get you some more exposure through things like Google News, which picks up a lot of those feeds. But you can actually really get to know and build a relationship with reporters now easier than you ever could. They're all online and they are watching people on Twitter and they're watching people on LinkedIn because they have to find those experts in those stories every single day. So they're out there listening. So if you're not, again, publishing that content and you're not positioning yourself as an expert, then the media is not going to know that you're out there. The other thing, though, is you can start to communicate with them even through blogs. So if they're blogging on their newspaper blog and you comment on a story that they did, you can actually start to, again, have a dialogue with that reporter. Things that you couldn't do very easily before. So it's a lot easier now to build that PR. Besides the media, though, I want you to think about other ways you can position yourself as an expert. Things like, are you speaking? Are you writing? So there's lots of opportunities to get those speaking engagements or even just doing TV shows online or blog radio online. And again, the writing, which we've talked about in terms of your educational content, can you be a guest blogger for somebody else's site, or can you possibly get an article into a magazine as well? So there is some really great ways that you can leverage PR. Again, low cost, high credibility. So we need to make sure we do all 3 of these to be the most effective that we can. We need the control from advertising, but we need the credibility that we get from referrals and PR. So all 3. All right, step number 6. We're getting there. All right, step number 6, the lead conversion system. Like I said, a lot of times we tend to stop marketing at the point when somebody starts to come on and be interested with us. Just think about it for a minute. Somebody comes in and they're interested in your product and service. A lot of times, what do? We focus on the product and service. We start to tell them all the bells and whistles that our product or service has. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want you to add a few things to that. I want you to think about adding in what it is again that makes you different. So educating them on the company. Do you know how long we've been in business? Do you know possibly your background and expertise if you're on a service-based side? Do you know that this product ranks 1 in its industry or is a leader in a certain part of innovation? So make sure that you share some of those really key differences. We get so focused on selling the product and service that we sometimes forget about educating them again onto what makes us and our company that different. When they may not buy from you right now, what are you doing to capture their information and stay in contact with them? Do you have some kind of a newsletter that they can get involved with until possibly they're ready to make the sale? Can you leave them with material that they can take home with them and possibly bring back? Can you give them a reason to buy sooner than later? And when they do come on, What do you do to really make them know they made that right decision? Do you have such a thing as a new customer kit that welcomes them, that shares that information, that has possibly a loyalty program, that shares a referral program, that gives them incentives to upsell, cross-sell, bulk buy with you in the future? What are you doing to really turn it into a customer experience? You know, I can't say enough about this. I don't know about you, but I have bought so many products and services where I'm not getting the same wow that used to exist 5 years ago. I think it's a great opportunity for us to actually really step up there and make that experience great for our customers. So if you can do that, not only will it help with you getting more sales, but you're educating them. So guess what they can do? They can refer you better. They can refer you better and turn you into raving fans. Remember, that's the bottom of our hourglass and one of our most cost-effective ways to get business. So make sure that you develop these touch points. Maybe also consider, do you do something at Christmas? Do you have a VIP event for your customers? What is it that you can do to engage and build that community with those individuals? Our final step. This is really probably the big one. You know, you're sitting there and I'm telling you all these great things that you want to do and you're writing feverishly on that piece of paper, and then you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. How am I possibly going to get all of this done? Well, let me put it in a way that you might understand. If you had a meeting tomorrow with a client or a prospective client that is going to spend, say, $50,000 with you, would you cancel that appointment because you ran out of toner in your printer? I'm going to say you're probably not going to do that. And yet, you know what? So often we will choose getting toner for our printer over doing our marketing. So the key with getting all this marketing stuff done, number one, is making an appointment with yourself to do the marketing. That's right, like make an appointment in your Outlook or whatever calendar it is that you use where you're blocking time and you are going to work on marketing, and you are not going to cancel that meeting. You are not going to take phone calls, just like you were in a meeting with your most profitable client, because in my view, marketing is your most profitable client. So make sure that you're giving the time that you need to do it. Secondly, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. There is, in most years, 365 days for you to work on your marketing. You don't have to have everything done. You know, if you just even apply really well a fraction of some of the ideas that I've shared with you today, you're probably going to start to see some great results. How do you just decide where to start? Well, first of all, pick out the things that you think that's easy. I could do that. I could set up a Facebook page. I haven't done that. That's pretty easy. Or, secondly, work on the ones that you got excited about, something maybe that was an aha that you decided, I'm going to work on that first because that sounds like me, that sounds like fun, I really think that will work. Start wherever you want. But here's something else I'm going to tell you. Don't try and do all of this yourself. It's probably the biggest way that you're going to come into failure. You need to outsource, and the reason that you need to outsource is because marketing works. This stuff is going to work. And if you're doing it all, and you're also going to be running this business, and you get busy, guess what you're going to do? You're going to stop marketing because now you don't have time. And when you stop marketing and you're busy, then guess what happens? You start peaking and valuing, because when it stops being busy, you don't have those people coming in anymore, and you're now feverishly trying to get the marketing caught up for the next boom. So you get this really bad line kind of coming through those peaks and valleys. What we want to do is we want it to be consistent. So if you can outsource parts of your marketing, then it continues to run no matter how busy you are. And you don't have to learn every single element of marketing. So we hope, of course, that you'll consider us to help you with your outsourced marketing. We're pretty excited about the packages that we offer and the affordability of those packages. You'll see every single one includes strategy as the very first piece, and then we will actually help you in terms of integrating some of those different pieces. But regardless of whether you use us or not, just make sure that you plot that out and you determine when you're going to do it and who is going to do it for you. All right, we're done. Thank you so much again for taking the time. And you know what? I'm going to do something special for you for taking the time today too. We have those great packages. They're on our website, www.strategiesforsuccess.ca. They start for as little as $250 a month. So it's really very cost effective for you in terms of getting some marketing done if you're just even a little startup out there. So you know what? For taking the commitment today and to hopefully make it just a little bit easier for you to take that next step with your marketing so that you can be more successful, I hope that you'll take me up on this. I'm going to give you a coupon code, and if you buy one of our products or services and you put this coupon code in, what it's going to do is it's going to reduce the setup fee or your first month fee by $100 just for coming today and just for taking the time to listen to this event or to this seminar. So the coupon code that you need to put in, write it down, and yes, you can share it with your brother or your friend. It is 7SMM12. That's 7, S is in sugar, M is in mother, 1, 2. Put that in and we'll be happy to help you with your marketing. I wish you all the best. Hope you found this helpful. And hey, guess what? We actually have a lot of this information in our 7 Steps report, which you can get if you sign up for our newsletter and stay involved with us. And I got to tell you, my newsletter rocks. I spent a lot of time creating it. It goes out every couple of weeks, and it's not just an article written by me. I actually share some pretty interesting trends that are happening out there with marketing, so things that might interest you in terms of what's new and how it can apply to your business. And I also pick some pretty interesting things that I just find that I think you would be interested in as well. So it's very packed full of information, trends, tips, and again, lots of specials for you as well. So I hope you'll sign up for those. Those are all free. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Happy marketing, and I wish you all the success.